Uncanny X-Men 191 begins with Spider-Man being held captive at Kulan Gath's temple. A bunch of yellow boxes get us up to speed on what has happened in the previous issue, and Kulan boasts his master plan for world domination. Spider-Man taunts him, and he learns that Kulan's power is born from the bloodshed of innocence, and then he gets tortured some more. Afterwards, Kulan visits Selene, whom he is also holding captive. She's in rough shape, so he magically cleans her up, but also removes her mouth and turns her arms into tentacles. Danielle and Sunder tell him that they've lost the trail of the heroes, and Kulan threatens to destroy them for their incompetence, but not even his Xavier Caliban hybrid can find the heroes. He decides to let Danny and Sunder live and gives them one more chance after Sunder suggests that the heroes are probably hiding in the Morlock tunnels, which are shielded from Kulan's powers. Meanwhile, the heroes visit a temple of knowledge, hoping to find information about how to defeat Kulan Gath, but they find it totally destroyed and everyone dead. Captain America shields Storm from an arrow attack, and Nightcrawler teleports the assailant to them. Her name is Erilyn, and she's the sole survivor of the temple. She thinks it's the heroes who are the ones who have killed everyone since Callisto is with them, but before the heroes can protest, they are attacked by Kulan's army. The Scarlet Witch tries to bind Colossus, but Illyana shatters the crimson bands. The heroes try to retreat back into the Morlock tunnels, but Vision cuts them off. Rogue fights with a bunch of Morlocks, and Cannonball knocks her into one of them. They touch, and Rogue loses her invulnerable gem form and reverts to flesh just as another Morlock stabs her and kills her. Storm loses her mind over it and goes nuts in attacking the army, giving the other heroes a chance to retreat. Warlock suddenly flies in and grabs Storm and takes off with her, saving her from certain death. Illyana berates Magma for not helping them in battle, and Callisto leads them to the nearest tunnel. Starfox and Wasp have been captured by Kulan, and they are transformed into members of his Hell Army. Meanwhile, Warlock tries to help Storm understand that she's under a spell. He shows her images of her past, and it eventually works, and Storm knows that this world is a lie. In the Morlock tunnels, Erilyn debriefs the heroes on Kulan Gath's history, and Captain America devises a plan to overtake his temple and free Selene. He and Colossus pose as members of Kulan's army, and they pretend to have captured Rachel and Magma. Rachel gives the guards some psychic nudging, and then all four of them are inside the temple. Kulan learns of their presence, but instead of calling them out, he sends Starfox and Wasp to kill the foolish guards who couldn't see past their trick. The other heroes traverse the Morlock tunnels, but are ambushed by Sunder and the New Mutants. They all fight, and Illyana works one by one to strike them with her soul sword and free them from the villainous spell. She successfully hits Wolvesbane, Danny, and Sunspot, but Callisto kills Sunder before Illyana can get to him. In the throne room, the other heroes find Spider-Man chained to the wall, but they are also ambushed by Kulan Gath's army. Vision and Wasp gang up on Colossus, but Captain America saves him. Kulan Gath steals Cap's shield as Starfox entrances Magma and Rachel, and Vision solidifies within Colossus, causing them both to explode. Captain America is knocked out, and Spider-Man watches, unable to help. Callisto's team arrives to even the score, but the Scarlet Witch turns them all into statues. Spider-Man manages to pull himself free from the wall and shouts that Kulan's power resides in the amulet, but Kulan Gath kills him instantly before anyone can act. Unbeknownst to everyone, Storm and Warlock have been hiding out in the rafters, and they heard Spider-Man's cry. They swoop down, and Warlock envelops Kulan as Storm grabs the amulet. The amulet is suddenly wrenched from her hand by some magic, courtesy of Magma. Selene suddenly bursts into a volcanic eruption and kills Kulan Gath and wounds Warlock as Magma reveals herself to actually have been Selene this whole time. She tells the heroes that now that she has the amulet, she'll take over the world instead of Kulan, and there's no one left to stop her. Warlock is fading fast, but Storm agrees to merge with him, and they form a new entity that manages to assimilate Selene and kill her. With this spell now shattered, Doctor Strange is freed from his prison, and he uses Illyana's powers to take the world back in time to moments before Kulan Gath was ever freed from his amulet. He says that the world is now safe, and that everything is back to the way it was before the spell was ever cast, and that no one will remember what happened, though he worries about what cost his temporal meddling will have. Back in the subway from a few issues ago, the ruffian goes to stab the fisherman who's holding Kulan Gath's amulet, but this time, Nimrod suddenly appears from the future. He saves the fisherman, and Kulan's amulet falls from his jacket onto the subway tracks and becomes buried in muck. Nimrod helps the fisherman recover, and then he sees the defaced Dazzler poster, and he knows that he must seek out and kill all mutants. Well, that's it for this issue. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my review video where I'll go in depth about what I thought of this issue and this arc overall. You can also surf around my channel for more issue spoilers and reviews, or follow me on social media for an assortment of other X goodies. Thanks again for stopping by today, and be sure to come back soon for more Great X-Mentations.